What's up, guys? Welcome back to Railway Empire, and this is Journey to the East scenario part 2, where our next task is to head over to Transylvania and start making steel available in our factories and delivering it to Sibiu. So the first thing we need to do is purchase the land. Now, I have left it just running a little bit since the last video, just to make a start. So what we need to do is instantly get a train station built in Kolozsvar, and if I remember correctly, it instantly starts growing without any sort of interference at all from any trains. So we're going to get this connected, and we're just going to run the first couple of lines because they are the cheapest ones. And like I said, guys, once money is kind of no object, we will fix these. And have these lines running a lot smoother. So we're looking at 205,000 just to get that connected. Now, as you can see, it's already started growing, and it doesn't take a lot really to get to the point where you can put your steel factory in. So you need to make sure that you're saving enough money to put the steel factory in as well, because what will happen is another company will put something else there, and then you'll have to buy them out, which you really don't want to have to do. So Budapest has grown again. But we're getting to the point where we don't really need to worry about Budapest will be part of it still for a little while, but Preßburg and Vienna really won't matter. Sorry, I had to sneeze then. They won't really matter. They'll just be cities that just keep goods in them. You know, keep a good fair amount of people in them. So Debrecen's growing pretty quickly. It's got a supply of wood, meat. It needs honey, but where do you get honey from around here? Where do we get honey from around here? There. But that we can't access that region at the moment, so that's not going to happen. Kolozsvar is already up to 36,000. And we need to look at how much a steel factory is going to cost. Realistically, let's have a quick look here. Steel is 547,000. So we need to keep that in mind, and keep that available ASAP. Because as soon as that hits the 40,000, which is not going to be far off, guys, that's what we want to be doing. It's going to cost us 200,000 just to get the tracks connected. Maybe we need more trains on that. Let's add another train. Kolozsvar is up to 38,000, so we're really going to need that money very soon. And we haven't done anything. Literally, all we've done is put a station there, and it's growing. I wonder if the same happens. I don't know if we can just put another train station in Sibiu. Yeah. still can't take out any bonds either. So as you can see, the money went instantly down as well because we paid off some of our bonds. We need to look at getting maintenance stations in as well. I'm gonna lie, guys, not the easiest of tasks of this scenario. Nearly there. So yeah, like I said, the first thing we want to be doing is getting that steelworks straight away. And then we can look at linking up trains. Okay, so let's get a steel plant straight in. There we go. One way of chewing up your money without doing anything. And even when we get this track connected, we're not really going to be running anything because that's meat to meat, isn't it, really? It's not really a great one. So what we'll do is we'll just leave that for the one line at the minute because we need to get Sibiu connected. So I think like that. And again, guys, let's just do it the first two lines because they are the cheapest. And then once money becomes no object, sort them out. But Sibiu starts growing instantly as well, so that's great. Sorry, I'm a bit snotty at the minute, and I'm not sure why. It's good to see everything growing, though. Of course my controller's low. Why wouldn't it be? How about we put that up to 3 trains? Get another train running, more money. Let's get our first track running. How much is our second track going to cost? 188. But for now, let's get our first train running between there and there. And what we need to look out for around here is connections, you know, bonus connections and stuff like that. That will help Sibiu grow straight away as well, I'd imagine. A good supply of meat. But then we need to get meat connected. Wood connected. There's just so much we need to get connected. And such little sort of time. We're not getting grapes moving at all now from here. So let's take Ludwig's stop out of it. It's pointless just stopping there, and we'll run. We'll run a train that does just them, and then no goods from each of them. We just need grapes running. Sibiu's up to 28, and we've not done anything other than connect the city and put one train between them, which is cracking. Our next task will be then, of course, producing the steel, so we're going to need to connect from that to that, but we're going to need this as a second line. Otherwise, we're just trying to run all these trains in on the same line, so it's not going to work. Would it hurt running? Just trying to think, would it hurt if we ran a train that went all the way from Budapest through to Sibiu with goods? Would it hurt it, or would we be good? Just seem a bit unnecessary to run it that far, but what goods are we going to have around here? We'll have wheat, so that would be fine. Grapes, that would be fine. Wood, that would be fine. Meat and bread. I think, yeah, to be fair, up to Debrecen would be absolutely fine. Let's do a new rail line between them two. I think that's just going to be express, isn't it? No point moving goods from there to there, because they're both producing meat. And of course, the more trains that are running, the better it is for us, guys. That's all I can say. Oh, that's got no maintenance at all. Right, so we need a new maintenance depot there, don't we? I think maybe more than 4 trains would need to run along here. Just delete that for now. What did he put here? Meat? Oh, cracking, because we need more meat. With meat there as well. Brilliant. We need cloth here. So, next task will be to put coal and stuff to Kolozsvar. So let's just make a quick save. It's always good to have the saves, guys. I feel that we're doing okay here, so we don't need to go back on anything. Yeah, so let's... it's a shame we can't really afford to make these cities what we want them to, but hey, we need to focus on fulfilling tasks now. Hold on, what's that? Oh yeah, let's get that done. So it's a very simple line that just goes all the way through. I can't actually wait to properly sort it out. We'll have to wait and see. We need to get a maintenance station in somewhere as well. Okay, so let's get this connected. We need it as short as possible, really, let's face it. 24k is nice. And we only need to run it out. M planning. We only need to run it out so much, just enough to get the lines running correctly. A new rail line between there and Kolozsvar. 8 wagons. Confirm. And then we need to, of course, get coal moving as well. So again, as cheap as possible. 375,000, I really don't think so. $109,000. What's it going to put here? I'm hoping fabric, like I said, because we've got that there. Even if it's kind of wine, we might be alright with that as well. Meat there's not the most ideal place. And again, just a nice little bit out, just to help us get a train in. What needs... Oh, we mustn't have put a supply tower on this line, so let's put a supply tower there. Let's put a new train line that goes from there to there, so we can now start making steel. And of course, let's get some supply towers on one there. And one there. And we should start seeing our steel be produced, and then we should start seeing it moving over to does that not... It doesn't need 2 trains at the minute, so we'll just run the 1 train. 1 train should be enough. Let's get an immigration office in. That will I'll just help with the growth, and then we can start feeding different... Ah, look, we've got a bonus for wood here. Let's get that. Bonus is always good. It's a commodity we need, so let's get it connected. 700. How much do they want for a little rail line? Even 166 is quite the expensive line for what it is, to be fair. But we only need to run one train on it. As soon as we can. The trains are really starting to move now, so money is coming in thick and fast. And then we could probably put a warehouse here in Sibiu and have grapes, wheat, wood, all in there. We just need to get meat to here. What's that gone with? It's still not gone with anything. We need to probably reinstate that train from there to there. Okay, so we got the bonus for that as well. Brilliant. And I think the next task will be as well to kind of upgrade our industry there to really make some money. It's 515, and I think it really does become a good money maker for us. We've got steel moving now, so we've produced 2. We're moving to cracking. Debrecen's got wine. Okay, so that is ideal, guys. Certainly ideal for 64,000. We're definitely going to have to restructure here. Okay, so I think we now start focusing on our rail line between Budapest East and Sibiu. And we make that luxury. We'll just run the one train. But then I also think we run a new rail line between all of them. At luxury as well. Again, more trains, more money. There we go. So let's get them on the go. So things are starting to move. Lovely jubbly. And how can we take? We can take out another bond. We're not going to take out one for yet. We're going to get this established, and then what we'll do is start fixing this area. Just want to make sure this is all running right without any issue. Trains aren't getting all clogged up on the lines, and we might run a few more trains, because a few more trains running is good for us, isn't it? It's good money, and that's kind of what really matters. And then we'll start looking at restructuring everything this end to really make things grow. So let's get our, because look how quick the money's coming in now. So let's get wheat. £1,000,000. Seems a bit extortionate. And now we'll start also running 2 trains on that as well, because we're going to see growth happening. And we can also put olives in there. Oh, Sibiu actually wants a new industry. Well, what do we put there though, or what could we afford to put there that's really going to make any difference? I suppose something with wood would probably help. Can't tell me it's not stopped at a single. Do we put an industry here, guys? We put sawmills here. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah. Because you know why? Then we can start looking at running 2 trains on this, because wood's a good solid commodity. Yeah. And then we'll look at upgrading that. So what's being moved? See, wood's being moved now, that's good. Brilliant. Happy. More trains we've got running, the happier we are. Let's check that bond. 1.8 million now. So the more money we have, the more or the more value of our system, the better the bond is for us. We're getting grapes over here as well. what stage do we need wood in this scenario? 55,000, so we're not far off it. Clothes, not clothes, sorry. Yeah, well, clothes and fabric is needed. Quite a lot. Let's get that leveled up, and then we'll get more trains running because they'll be needed. So we're up to 14 out of 20 produced, and 11's been moved. 32 passengers have been moved. Brilliant. So the next section will be to run a train down here. Cheap as possible, guys. Oh, it's going to have some sort of tunnel, isn't it, I think? That's going to be avoidable. But if we can just do the tiniest little tunnel. Probably going to have to run it in on that line like that, and then just for now we'll just put a little siding like that, and that will allow us to keep running that train without an issue, and we'll be able to do the same with this one when we put a little siding here too. And guys, like I said, once money gets that much stronger, we will restructure and make it better for ourselves. This is just a matter now of just getting the lines running. See, it might be worth for us to now change that train to run between these three. We'll let it arrive, and then we'll look at deleting it, and then I think I'll get these three trains, 3 cities connected. Kolozsvar, Sibiu, Kolozsvar, Debrecen. Let's get 4 trains running on that now. Brilliant. Get more goods moving.
Good. Our steel supply has been secured. And with our own plant in the area, we do not have to rely on shipments from Austria.
1.7 million, and to be fair, guys, we're running through this second part pretty swiftly, which is really good. Sibiu's growing lovely. Oh, we've just got a new express route bonus as well, which is fantastic. You know, the more routes we've got running, the better. Now, what we might need to do here is look at creating something quite magical. So I think we want to be running grapes down here. Oh, do we want it to run that far? Do we need it to run that far? Probably not. so we can then get a train that runs from there to there. Oh, why does it do that? I'm trying to bloody work and it just comes up with something on the screen. And then what we also want to do is get a train running from here into this line. And out again. And then it wants to cross over and run that way. We didn't even pull it on. Oh, brilliant, there we go. So now we can run a rail line that goes from there to there. More trains, more money. And we've still not taken the other bond at the minute. But we will do, we'll take that bond very soon. We're up to 2.175 because I want us to, before we move on to the next region, just fix everything on this area because it is very complicated. There's lots of trains running. Probably more trains could run as well. So we just want to be making sure everything is running absolutely bang on. And we're making plenty of money without even trying, so that we can focus then really pushing forward. So we're up to 50,000. We've stopped growing now. So why have we stopped growing? We don't have any wine yet. We don't have any... Did we not put a train on here? No, we didn't. So that will bring olives. Wine, clothes. We really need some clothes as well, to be fair. What would be ideal for clothes? I mean, this would have been a fantastic place for clothes because we've got them there. What we really need to do is stop being supplied with cows. I think that would be our best bet. If we stop that being supplied with cows, we should be able to eventually buy that and put clothes there. So what trains have we got running? So that's on its way to Kolozsvar, Debrecen, Steel. That's on its way to Kolozsvar, and I'm just hoping that that will move wine up to Sibiu. So let's just see what's going on with that. Don't take all the wine. Don't take all the wine. You took all the wine. Of course you have. Oh, Sibiu is growing. honey. These basic commodities are really tough to get hold of because they're not around anywhere. You've literally got nothing else in this region. Oh, we've got... Oof, could you imagine trying to... How much is that going to cost us to run through there? Shall we have a look? Just a single train line. You know what, I'm not gonna lie, not as expensive as I thought. Not as expensive as I thought, to be fair. Oh, and do you know what? We could then connect to there to get... Oh, absolutely brilliant. Right. Let's do this. Let's do this. So... I wonder how much an identical track would be to run all the way down. It's not that expensive, I'm not gonna lie, it's not that expensive. I thought it was going to be much, much more expensive than that. I'm actually really quite happy with that line, guys. If I'm honest. It's quite a distance, don't get me wrong. Quite a distance. But, oh, that brings that into Sibiu as well. Nice. Nice. Look at that, we are fulfilling these tasks beautifully, guys, and really, really quickly too. We're going to run that 690,000. Is someone having a laugh? Oh wow, that must be really high on a hill.
bustling, and everyone wants a construction job at our company. Now we just need all the materials, and we are good to go.
Don't like that. Right, okay. For now. $34 out of 40. We must be moving steel still. So we'll delete that one because there's just another train running that we don't really need on that track. And we've just got 40 loads of steel to deliver now. And that is moving, look at that, moving with every train. So that is cracking. Let's have a look at our 2.159. I mean, it'd be great to get that connected with that, but that seems a little bit on the extortionate side. I mean, I wonder if it'd be cheaper to run a train. Let's try it again. This time, let's head. Do you know what? 500,000 isn't a bad line. Okay. We're trying. Okay, yeah, that's a bit better. Let's see if that now allows us to join that up. Let's try it from this side. I mean, if worse comes to worse and we had to do that, leave that little section there and carry that up to there. That's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world, guys. Like I said, we're going to fix this in a minute. We are going to fix this so that we've got the correct amount of, like, everything running. It wouldn't hurt to connect that up either. And then that's got meat. Do you know what? That's got meat. So, actually, that's not an issue. Meat, bread, cloth, all connects. Beautiful. What's not got? Operating supplies. But the presumption is that. 38 out of 40, guys. We are almost there with this task. And we are about 18 months ahead of schedule, which is great. Not perfect, but great. Hoping now our last two bits of steel will move to Sibiu. Brilliant, brilliant, happy guys. It's a bit, you know, it's a bit complicated, but like I said, we're going to restructure as soon as this task has been completed, so we can move on to the next stage and part 3 of the video. Saving plenty of money, guys. How many bonds have we still got left to pay off? Just waiting for that last bit of steel.
Turned their threat into reality, but was caught in time by your security personnel.
I presume it's going to go on this track, because we've got 17 steel, so I don't know why it's not moving. Okay, so the steel is now moving. We're going to fulfill this task. Beautiful. So, do you know what? Let's take out our next bond. Let's pay that off. And pay that off. And then we should be able to take more bonds very soon, which will be absolutely fantastic. And then what we'll do is we'll pause the game, restructure our first set of what we're going to restructure before we move on.
Marvelous.
Brilliant.
These materials should be more than sufficient for building all the bridges and tunnels we'll need for our mountain.
So I've just paused it now, guys.
Finally, contracts have been signed, allowing us to purchase concessions in Wallachia and across the Danube, all the way to the Black Sea. The terminal stop for our first Oriental luxury rail line. Frustratingly, we have only been given permission to do so under the condition that we help grow these lands, same as we did with Austria-Hungary. And here I thought building tracks across the Carpathian Mountains would be our biggest problem.
Okay, right. So we're just going to look at what our next tasks are, and it's going to make 10 different goods available in Bucharest at the same time. Transport 100 passengers in a luxury train line directly from Bucharest to Varna without changing. Reach 280,000 citizens in the Wallachia region, and that includes Brasov, Craiova, Pitesti, Bucharest, Russe and Varna. So this is the next area here. Okay, so game's paused. Let's get a save. And we will move on. Okay, right. So leave the game paused here, guys. You don't necessarily have to do this, but I really want to do this now. This has been bugging me for a little while. So we're going to start at one end and work our way across. So that is now going to rejoin with that. And that will join with that. What is going on? Pack it in. Okay, and then what we'll do is we're gonna make these stations just that little bit more flowing, and make sure that the correct sort of amount of trains are running as well, guys. So we put 4 there, and of course just make sure that your lines are running correctly. Okay, so that's a start. And what will happen, guys, of course, once you press play, trains will just start running again. It won't be an issue. We're still not going to run excessive prices because it's pointless. And then so this will allow all trains arriving to use all 4 stations, all 4 lines. So it should, you know, help with congestion. Let's make sure we put a supply tower back on that line. And then we're going to put another supply tower about here, because this is going to get a little bit busy here. So what we're going to do is run that to there, and that to there, and that like that, and that like that. Make sure you're just running all the lines at the same place. Brilliant. And then we'll run these in just into their own separate lines then for these 2 goods now. Well, 3 goods. Will it work with 6 tracks? It will work with 6 tracks. Okay, so that then connects all them. Are we running enough trains this end, do we reckon? I think we probably are, but what we'll also do here is run just an extra siding like that on this one. And the train that runs from... Let's just press play a second. The train that runs from Schmidt Terminal. It's just going to sit on line number 3, 8. Train. Confirm. Repause it. And the train that runs this one, we're going to edit that to have 2 trains, and we're going to put a maintenance depot up there. Okay, so we're now good all the way to Preßburg. Let's demolish these lines. And then we will be running the 4 lines in from this end. That wheat line's not really going to affect us too much. It's only 1 train. It shouldn't cause too much of an issue to warrant restructure this end. Like I said, guys, you don't necessarily have to do this. This is for me, but let me tell you, it's going to make everything this end run a lot smoother. It also means we can start running more trains. So Vienna to Preßburg, we can now up that to 4 trains. So that's not going to affect us. That's only 1 train. That's not going to affect us. That's only 1 train. And then what we'll do is fix it so that then does the same here. So all the trains that run in now have the correct sort of stations. We can then look at how many we've got running between there, because I reckon 4 trains on that will work better now. And the Vienna to Preßburg, let's up that to 3 trains. Okay, so that is now everything on this side of Budapest sorted and adjusted. It's only took about 6 minutes. Let's just press play. So you'll see all the trains start running again and everything will be hunky-dory. Brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. Do we need a second honey train? you know what? Let's put a second honey train on. Do we need a second cheese train? Let's put a second cheese train on. Why not? We've got the money. Right, so let's start again back here at Budapest. And let's put a gridiron there. And let's again run it like this. Oh, we need a little bit further with that to get the 4 gridirons. Run it all the way to about there. We can take the supply tower out, because the supply tower, it was only there to stop us losing all the rails across the water, basically. So we've now got the 4 lines that come into there. But guys, what we're also going to do is a cheeky track that just kind of peels off if we can get it. We might not be able to. I was hoping to try and get an extra cheeky track that just runs over. What we'll do is we'll extend, because Ludwig has a few trains running through it, we'll also extend that to take the four lines running through it, the 4 stations, just to ease any traffic. Yeah, we spent a bit of money. We've spent a bit of money, but it's worth it. I think it's worth it anyway. It's just to help keep the flow of goods moving, guys. And let's face it, it's not costing us any time because the game is paused, so it's not affecting our targets. All it's doing is spending a bit of money, but let's face it, once the trains start running, again, money's going to be absolutely flowing in, and it's going to flow even better now. Okay, cool. Right, so that's I'm quite happy with that running down there. What I might do is just put a siding in here. Just to help trains load this end. But quite happy with that. It might be worth to up that train. So we've got 2 trains running. And we can let's just get that train out of the way. Get out of my way. Get out of my way. Get out of my way. Okay. we will run that now all the way up to the top, and that because I don't know what that is above, whether or not we're going to need it. So if we've got the infrastructure in place, ready to go. Okay, so we're happy with that. Ludwigstock can take 4 good trains running through it. We're now going to increase this station. In fact, we're quite happy here with the 4 on this line, I think. We'll just start from this side of the track. Where does it connect up? There. I think we're happy with that. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, so Kecskemet should be pretty good for the flow of goods there. We will then look at changing the tracks here. The tracks on this side. So what we're going to do here is we're going to have it just running the 2 through. But what we're going to do is run a siding here and 3. Come on, tentative. There it is. Okay, good. Right, and then the train that runs, let's just press play. That will sit on line number 1 only. Make sure all of our lines are fine, because it's saying that it's running on long periods when it's lying. Okay, and the train that runs that will sit on track number 4. Okay, so now that just gives them a siding each to run it in on. We are absolutely chewing up this money, guys. Oh, oh no, no, no.
But that's just because we're using extra stations and stuff like that. And we are running extra trains. The money will come back to us very quickly once we start running. We might just have to run for a week. In the game. Okay, so I think that now works bang on. Okay, so the next section, of course, will be this, and we'll take that back just a bit, guys. So that's going to connect back up with that. Make sure we can get the 4 gridirons. Beautiful. Okay, so that's now Debrecen sorted, but we'll now, of course, run. What is this? This is grapes, isn't it? Now, the 1 train or 2 trains that we run on this isn't going to cause massive issue. Yeah, so that 1 train's not going to cause us a massive issue there. The 1 train that's going to run on this track ain't going to cause us a massive issue. And again, the 1 train that's running on this track, not a massive issue. So we'll then focus on fixing this end. Now we're not going to be running separate lines for luxury or express. We are just going to be running the same lines all the way through that we have been. It's just all we're doing is fixing the stations now at these ends, which is really going to help the trains move through the stations without issue. And after all, that's what we want, isn't it? So just make sure that's moving correctly. All good, all good. Yeah, we are all good there. Now what we could do here, guys, is focus on the fact that we have got goods coming in to this city. So we'll run actually these. Run this all the way, like. Let's just put a supply tower there and delete that. Run that. To that. Oh, to that. And then we put a 4 grid iron there. And we put that all the way to there, like. What's going on? Can we run that now? We can. Oh my god. I feel like I've got a bit of stick drift. Okay, so once we are all sorted with that, we've got goods coming in, no issue. We'll run these on. Run this from this city into. Oh, do you know what? We can run the same here, but we'll just run the 4 lines because this, of course, has got the other city down below and the goods coming in. But let's face it, we're kind of at the end of the line here as to where we're going with our next cities. I saw it then. I saw it. There it is. Okay, so that obviously connects all the way down to there. And then what we'll do is, I think we actually want to be kind of running a double line here anyway now. I think that will be fine. Because what we're going to be doing here now is running slightly further out now. Through this rest. Yeah, delete that, please. Come on. No, mould. Build a total of 100 ton. Oh, wow. Where's all of our money gone? Okay, so what's going on here? Oh, what is going on with that? For some reason it was pointing in that direction. There. Okay, so I think we are all fixed there, guys. The only thing we need to now fix is the trains that are running. So, Kolozsvar to Debrecen, let's run that on. That line there. Let's edit that so that it runs on. There we go. Let's just double check all of our lines are running. They all look like they're running to me. I'm not sure where it thinks that it's running on long sections. So it runs all the way down there, no issue. Through there, no issue. Down there, no issue. I don't see what the issue is there. Everything seems good, guys. So, yeah, that is now everything fixed and running smoothly. There's only one more thing I can really think of that would be absolutely ideal, and that would be to run a train from this side of the tracks not at that cost though. I wonder if that would work. let's put that in. It doesn't really make much of a difference because, of course, we can delete it straight away. Will that work? I think that would work, guys. I think we could then run a cheeky train that runs into a warehouse there that just has olives, and that would then give us a chance to run olives from there to there. I don't know where it thinks it's running on sections without direction. Oh, it's there, look. One tiny little bit. Let's run that up to 4 trains as well. So the idea is now we are gonna save. I just want to see if anything is missing. I think we're pretty good, guys. Can't see it having really long sections of stuff that's got no signals at all. They're all running bang on. No, I've got to say I'm pretty happy with that now. So we're going to now move on to part 3. So we've got until July. We've got 2 years to make this happen, and we need to be doing it pretty swiftly. Can we take out another bond? Yes, we can. So that will be the final act of this video. So guys, catch me in part 3, where we will now move on towards Wallachia. 1.5 million to purchase that, guys. So let's go. I'll see you in part 3. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye bye.